up and it was kind of a jelly. And you squirted it on the head. And then you could do a touch-up in a minute and a half. And then somebody showed up with a cream color in a tube, and it was too thick to squeeze out of a bottle. So now you had to put it on with a bowl and a brush because a bottle just isn't professional. Here's the question, what is professional? We just talked about 3 different artists who did things 3 different ways and got great results, right? Which one was more professional than the other? Did it matter that Van Gogh picked up that paint on his fingers and went, did it matter? He created art. What's professional? Professional is doing the job and satisfying the client. That's it. How you get that color to the head? I don't care if you hang them in gravity boots and dip them in a bucket of it. If it gets on there and it looks good when it's done and your client loves it, you're professional. And they pay and come back, you're professional. Okay? That's it. I mean, I can stand here and we can go through the semantics of, oh, you must have an 1/8 of an inch parting, and you should be able to see a piece of paper through the bag of the parting when you put the color in. Come on, really? Get it on the head, get it done. End of story. I love all the highfalutin bullshit. How about you stop preaching to the people and get back behind the chair. Let's see how many you can do in a day and how many people you can satisfy and how many come back at the end of the month. Right? Not for a redo, but for another appointment. That's professional. You know, rock your 40 clients out a week in, week out, and make them happy, and have a waiting list to get in your book. You must be doing something right. But what I will say is that when we switched over to using cream colors, we wound up with these formulations where you had to put the color in the sideburn really and just bristle it up and get it in there. And we're so used to pounding the color on the side of the head, right? And your client does that too. It turns right here faster. For some reason, the hair in a 1/4 of an inch around the hairline goes so much faster than the hair on the rest of their head. I just don't understand it. With a color that's softer, or a little more liquidy, you will push the color off of where you want it, as opposed to placing the color on where you want it. So I'll say when you use no inhibition color, it's kind of the consistency of like Chobani yogurt. It's a little softer. So if you start doing that bristle mix and doing this, the 1/2 an inch behind the hairline and back, man, that color will be perfect. But you will push the color right off the hairline. And it's not that the color didn't take. You didn't take the time to place the color where you wanted it. You pushed it off of where you wanted it. That's another one where David gets in trouble telling professionals that you're being heavy-handed. You know, just slow down, take your time, and just apply the color and get it where you want it to be. And it'll work. It's so simple. Sometimes it's like that breath. It's like, okay, now let's do the color. And bring it down a notch. And everything will go the way you want it to go. So we've now covered the 4 reasons why color doesn't work. Simple, right? Right. We're understanding the color more now. So we're getting the information we need. With the application, you know this color is going to be a softer color. It'll spread a little easier. So when you go to do spreads, when you use this to balayage and things, it's incredible because it moves. It's not like you're trying to take peanut butter and streak down the hair. You know what I'm talking about. We've all used those colors that you stick the bowl, you stick the brush in the bowl and you lift it up and there's no color on it. And you're going to get the color to stick to the brush. And then how do we get it to stick to the hair? Because it's so thick it doesn't want to move. This color's not like that. It's nice and gelatinous. It's a really nice color. Again, like Chobani yogurt. Our timing. Pay attention to what developer you're using. It's going to take time in your book. Sure. You have to be one with the receptionist. You know, because I don't know about you, I've owned 11 salons, and I never had a receptionist that screwed my book up on purpose. Because they didn't want to feel the wrath. You got 12 stylists in the salon, and one person at the desk. That person doesn't want to feel that. That person should be in the command mode. They're the expediter. They make sure that client gets from the front door to the chair, and from the chair back out the front door, and they paid and were satisfied on the way out. They don't want to deal with crazy stylists. We're all nuts. I know I am. I'm berserk. You know, so coordinate with your desk person, with your salon coordinator, and let them understand, I need this much time for color. What I do is I book every one of them, my time off, my processing time, I book them off for 50 minutes. And if it's 30 minutes, and I know it's a 30-minute time color because it's only a 10-volume developer, I go back in there and I pay attention to my book all the time. I go back in and I tell the receptionist, okay, we can, you know what? Slide this down, move this, move that, move this, move this, move that. Okay, now I got time for 2 more people, fit 2 more people in. It's your job to pay attention to your book. It's not their job to spoon feed you your clients. They're your clients, right? It's the artist behind the chair. And if you don't coordinate your time and your client's time with the receptionist, man, her crystal ball's broken and the parts are on back order. So coordinate with that person and make it easy on them so it makes it easy on you. Pay attention to your book. You know, that's the thing. It's the Lombardi time, right? You roll in 5 minutes before the appointment, you're already 20 minutes late. You know, that kind of thing. If you get there 20 minutes, a half an hour ahead of time, spend that time looking at your day's book and the next day's book and the day after that. It'll see if you can adjust that thing like that. It takes you just a couple of minutes. Bing, 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 and everything's locked down. It's right, it's tight, and you're making money. It's that simple. It's their responsibility is to answer the phone, be the smiling face for the client that comes in, ask for the money, make sure they're satisfied on the way in the door and on the way out of the door. Product usage. Pay attention to product usage. How much product are you using? Do you weigh your product? Absolutely. You know the cake boss weighs his ingredients? Mm-hmm. So when he makes a cake, it's all the same all the time. Crazy, right?
Well, I think they have to in baking.
Right.
I mean, you know.
The dash of this and dash of that doesn't work when you're making 200 cakes.
Right.
You know, because the dash in the first cake might be a little less than the dash in the 15th cake. So you want to be consistent. Consistent, continuous, and progressive. Those are keys, 3 keys to success. I've read a lot of books about how people become successful in things. And one thing that rings clear in all of those books is they're consistent at what they do. They're continuous at what they do. And they think with a progressive thought and they progress for the future. And that's actually what's made Z.One so successful in such a short period of time. From 0 to $70 million a year in only 15 years. That's pretty huge, right? And it's because Yvonne was very, very consistent. He continues to strive for perfection. And he is very, very progressive in his thought. He's always looking for the next big thing. You know, he's always looking, or he's employed the right people to help create the next big thing, you know. So let's talk about what's in that cosmetic conditioning side of this color that really makes it tick. What makes it different than everything else? Because that's going to lead us into that product over there, leading to what I'm going to talk about. Okay. We have in our product multi-chrome anti-age defense. Okay, this is a proprietary blend of ingredients that we know are proven to anti-age the hair. It takes the aging process out of the hair and it takes the aging process out of the color. And it's just good science. We start off with soy phospholipids. You know, phospholipid is a coenzyme. Coenzymes slow down the aging process. People take coenzymes to slow cellular aging down, to make your heart stronger, to make your blood stronger, to make the capillaries stronger, because it slows down the aging process of the cells. We add CoQ10 to that. Coenzyme Q10 is the highest coenzyme. It's like the mother of all coenzymes. We add into that. So we have soy phospholipids, which are one coenzyme. We have CoQ10 on top of it. They both slow down the aging process of the color as well as the cells in the hair. Then we add in vitamin E. Vitamin E is the strongest antioxidant there is. It is the grandmother, grandfather of all antioxidants. Vitamin C helps fight the hair being fragile, and it's also an antioxidant. Then we use Lang Lang. Lang Lang has been used by women for centuries. It's a very, very fragrant flower. It's spelled ylang ylang, but it's pronounced Lang Lang. Okay? It's a fragrant flower, and it has some soothing and smoothing qualities to it for the hair and the scalp, and it's just got a beautiful, lush fragrance, and it also has an antioxidant quality to it. We have another proprietary ingredient we call sea satin. It's been derived from the sea beet that grows in abundance in the Mediterranean. The properties of that sea beet are they repel pollution, they have natural UV blockers in it, and it does something really, really unique. It balances out the hydration of the hair from roots to ends. So it balances hydration. You know the 9-year-old little girl, when you wash her hair, by the time you get her from the basin to your chair, she's almost dry? Because her hair hasn't been messed with, and the hydration is even. So it dries very evenly and very quickly. Then you have the woman that you've been doing color and highlights and stuff on, and you get her from the sink, you towel dry her at the sink, you bring her to your chair, you pull the towel off, you walk over, you get a comb, you turn around, and there's a puddle on the floor, because her hair will least moisture again. It's because the hydration in her hair isn't even, and it's trying to balance out. So then all of a sudden it's going to flush and push the excess moisture out of it. You don't have that same situation with that 9-year-old girl, right? Well, sea satin takes the hair and gives it that hydration level like that 9-year-old little girl. That balances out from roots to ends. The healthier the hair is, the better it'll take color. The better the fabric, the better the color. That's always the rule. The better the fabric, the better the color. You have your favorite t-shirt. You've had it for 5 years. It's been washed however many times in 5 years. You decide that, well, you know, I think I need a new t-shirt. So you go and you buy exactly the same style, brand, and everything of your old favorite t-shirt. And now it's your new favorite t-shirt because it's the same. Okay? If we take those two t-shirts and we decide to dye them, they'll both take dye. But when we wash them, the old t-shirt's going to lose the dye much faster than the new one. Because the fabric has been compromised, it's aged. It's more porous. Porosity is the ability to absorb or release. So it's more porous. So we have issues with that old t-shirt holding the color. Well, hair is nothing more than fabric. It's nothing more than fibers. You can weave it into a sweater. You know, if you had enough hair, you could take it and you can weave it. I mean, when you wear a wool sweater, it's just lamb hair. Okay, so it's the same thing. The better the quality of the fabric, the better the quality of the color. It's that rule. So in our color, we try to make that color make the fabric better. And we do it, and we've proven it. If we were to part the hair right down the middle,
All right, thanks, Laura.
and we did this side with the 4 to 6, and we did this side with the 5. When I go like this, you'll see a 5. When I go like this, you'll see a 5. When I go like this, you'll see 2 distinctive different colors. The 2 colors mixed together will always look better than just using the 1 tube of color, because there's more diversification in your color molecule inside the hair. No matter how strong I am, I can't take a 4 molecule and a 6 molecule and make a 5 molecule. What happens is my 4 molecule and my 6 molecule sit next to each other, and it makes the appearance of a 5 molecule. The light bounces off of it and you see a 5 molecule. Okay? But your 4 and 6 will always look better because you had to create something to get something else. And there's more diversification in pigment that's in the hair. So I say, if there's nothing else that I show you today that I can share that will change the way you do color, is never grab the tube you want. Create the color. That's good. You want a 6, take your 5 and 7. Take a 4 and an 8. You know,
forcing yourself out of the box.
Well, it's forcing yourself out of the box and it's giving you a broader spectrum of color in that hair. I was sharing with Randy before that, you know, there's times, instead of using the double pigmented series, which is basically just the same pigment but twice the amount.
Right.
Let's say, and in particular, I do this from 7 and above. I'm trying to make it 8, and I need a good, rich 8. But we all know that level 8 hair that's going gray, first off, it's light natural in its own, so it doesn't have a lot of natural pigment all by itself. Then it's gray, so it doesn't have a lot of natural pigment all by itself. But if you look at the tube, if you look at the color at level 8, it doesn't have a whole lot of pigment all by itself, right? So what do? So I take my level 8, and I use half of it will be 8. The other half I'll take an 8.3 and an 8.1, and I'll mix them equal parts and create a neutral. So I created a neutral, and I had a neutral. But this neutral was created from 3 colors, and this neutral is whatever it is. This is 2 colors, and this is whatever it is. So I actually have 3 different colors in that hair instead of just 1. It's brilliant.
So the 8.1 is a hash,
Hash.
but it's a, what base is it?
It's going to be the
An
proper
8 level.
base for an 8 level. So
Which really, an A level, you want to be almost like a violet.
it's like a blue violet.
Yeah.
It's a blue violet. And your level, your 0.3. Okay.
Hello?
So you create your neutral, and so now it's derived from everything is 3 different colors floating around in that hair. So I have 3 different molecules creating light reflection.
Right.
You know,
It's really one.
Right.
So, and then there's times that I do, here's a nutty thing that I do, okay? Let's use the example of 6. First thing is I never take horizontal partings, I never take full vertical partings, I always take bias angle partings. Okay, because what I do, when I do a bias angle parting, and I lift the hair up this way and I let it go, it's gonna fall straight down, right? Well, so on this line on the head, because I've taken bias angle partings across that line, when I lift it up and drop it, I wind up with different little dots of color next to each other. So for conversation, I just want a 6 on the head. The color's gonna be a 6. I take a 2 of a 6, I take a 5 and a 7, I take a 4 and an 8, I have 3 balls on the counter. I take my first part and I put my 6. I take my next part and I put my 5 and 7. I take my next part and I put my 4 and 8. Then I put my 6.
Brilliant.
Okay? So now I wind up with 3 different colors of the same color.
Are you doing a highlight for this?
No,
No,
base color. Base color.
Okay, now when you do a root touch-up, you take a color, the same color, and pull it on the end?
Very sick.
What I do is I mix the same formulas, but I mix it with 5 volume.
My breast doesn't love
You
it.
shouldn't pull the color on the end, should you? This muddies it.
Well, there's an overlapping that happens, there's a couple of scientific reasons why that happens. You know, money happens.
Right.
But if you mix it down, if you mix it out with a 5 volume, it's not penetrating deep into the cortex again, it's not re-outlining.
Oh, yeah, you
the
can
hair.
get it.
It's doing a lot less damage, and it's not stimulating old pigment,
So you don't have a semi-permanent?
not in a no inhibition line.
I mean, but wouldn't you say though too, you know, you go 30 volumes, an average 10, 12 minutes to put on an application of color, let it sit, it oxidizes. You know what I mean? You have some left over, you're pulling it through. I mean, you're around a 5, a 10.
Yeah, but this marked up mod is not the same.
Yeah, the molecules
It's
are
not
the
the
same.
same. It muddies the hair.
Well, you're an advocate of pulling stuff through.
No, I don't use the same color.
I know, that's what I'm saying, you're an
Yeah,
advocate
I
of
mix up another
I don't.
color.
Right.
But as far as, I've always been taught that we use a semi-permanent, it's gonna hold better in the hair than using a permanent with a low volume.
Right, well, here's what happens. Permanent color goes into the center of the cortex with all the melanin, and it kind of cracks through that melanin layer, and it inserts itself in among it. Semi-permanent, if you look at it, you have the cuticle, and then there's like a little gap, and you have the cortex. Semi-permanent sits in that gap
Right.
between the two. So it's a little bit different light reflection, okay? By taking that permanent color and making it, mixing it with a 5 volume, and what I do is I go one step further. I mix my my root touch-up and my ends at the same time. And once I'm all done doing my root touch-up, then I put my ends on.
Because it's already started to
Because it's
oxidize.
already starting to oxidize, so the molecule is bigger, so it's not going in the hair as far.
So it's becoming a posture only and not a,
You mean with the same color? With the 5 volume, or are you talking
Yeah,
about?
so if I took this color right here, I took this 6.22, I made one bowl with 20 volume, I made one bowl with 5.
Five,
At
okay.
the same time.
Yeah.
I stir them at the same time.
Right.
I put my 20 on the roots,
Right,
takes me 5 minutes to apply it, I let it process another 5 minutes,
yeah,
and then I put my 5 volume on the ends.
I got it.
so it's already breaking down.
Right.
So,
That's brilliant, though. I like what you were talking about. That's, I mean, that's really cool.
and that changes the way your color looks. So you're doing a root touch-up, you're doing a number, so your hair looks fabulous. Your hair should look freaking amazing.
That's no problem. They make-
Yeah, I mean, you just look over and it's shine that's coming off of the front of it.
And that's a dark
halo.
color too.
It's just crazy.
So,
That's your halo, Angel.
no,
So-
it is so shiny.
Absolutely.
So, you know, what we have going on is the same action, whether there's 3 balls here or 1 ball, I still have to go, right? So what's the difference if I go and,
Yeah.
There's no difference.
there's no difference.
Just make sure you make up less of each.
Right, yeah, make less product.
But you're eventually, you're making the same amount, but it's a third and a third and a third.
Right.
And this is 1 to 1.5, right?
Right,
Yeah.
1 part color to 1.5 parts development. Now, why do you think that is? Just out of curiosity.
Why 1?
Developer pushes it in, so you need more.
Okay, well, that could be an explanation. But let's go back to what I was talking about before. What's in the one-sided color? You have pigment, you have the surfactant, you have some binders, but you have the most important part, which is, I'm talking about this side of color with the colorant, not the conditioning stuff.
Oomph power.
You have an alkaline enhancer. You have to raise the alkalinity of the hair
Yeah.
to get the color in. Okay. Well, how do you neutralize something that's alkaline?
Acid.
Okay. What's the pH of developer?
8.5
Which is,
acid. So I thought that, ammonia opened the cuticle.
It does.
All right, so what's the ammonia level?
the ammonia level is between 1% and 3%,
1%.
depending on where you are on the
Right.
chart. High-lift blondes are 3%. Okay, so now our high-lift blondes are 1 part color to 2.5 parts developer, because there's 3% ammonia in it. So we have to control the alkaline rise. So when you mix color, if it's got ammonia in it, the way it lifts off, it goes like this. And then along comes the low pH peroxide. Pushes it back down and rides it out. If you have a color that's mixing with monoethylamine, it goes like this, and it starts to come down, and then it gets clipped and pushed over to the edge. Okay, but it goes real high, real fast, and it comes down. So it's a flash in the pan. Where ammonia is a slow rise and a slow descent. But each one of them
What's the other
has
word
a
you said,
certain
what?
monoethylamine, MEA.
What is that? Okay.
It's an alternative to ammonia. When you buy an ammonia-free color,
Right, that's what's
it's
really.
monoethylamine. It's semi-permanent colors. Right. Semi-permanent colors, monoethylamine.
It's gotta have something to do it.
Yeah.
So when they go, it's ammonia free, it's all natural, nothing is really not.
Right, there is no such thing as a natural color period. Never has, never will be. There is no natural permanent hair color.